What's up, hungry people? It's Saba here, and I'm going to be showing you how to make apple cake. Apple cake is totally a recipe from my youth. Growing up, my mom had the Moosewood cookbook, which is what this recipe is based on, and they had an amazing apple cake called Aunt Minnie's apple cake. I made it a lot as a kid, and now I'm making it as an adult with a couple little changes. This recipe turns out so delicious. It's perfect for fall. The cake is so appley and warmly spiced. Share it with your family and friends. I'm sure you're gonna love it. To start, we're gonna mix some oil and eggs. We need half a cup of oil and 2 eggs. Use a whisk, mix it up till you see it's nice and combined like that. You shouldn't be able to see any separation between the oil and the eggs. Next in is a cup of brown sugar. This we're also gonna mix. I'm just gonna try to make sure there are no lumps of brown sugar. That looks pretty good. This color is so pretty. It reminds me of candy apples or something like that, like caramel apples. Yum. And I almost forgot adding in a tablespoon of water. In here, I have my flour, and to this, I'm gonna add my baking powder and baking soda, along with some nutmeg and cinnamon, about a tablespoon. And this mixture, we're gonna sift into our wet ingredients. Honestly, I'm not much of a sifter, but I will do it from time to time. And I made a nice little mess, but we're just gonna mix this in. Don't overmix because you don't want the batter tough. Now, it wouldn't be an apple cake without some apples. And these apples, I cut up into about, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 1 inch pieces. And I also have some chopped walnuts. If you don't like walnuts, if you don't eat nuts, don't worry, leave them out. This will still be delicious. So now I'm switching from a whisk to a spatula, adding in my apples and giving this a nice mix. Beautiful. The other thing that I realized when I was making this recipe is that I don't have a 9-inch cake pan, but I do have a 9-inch cast iron pan. I just lined this with a little bit of parchment paper, and this is what I'm gonna use to bake my cake. If you have a 9-inch cake pan, use that. This is probably just gonna take a little bit more time for me because it's thicker. Whatever pan you're using, make sure you spray it so that your cake doesn't stick. And then to make it extra special, I'm just going to sprinkle some sesame seeds over the bottom and hopefully up the sides. Okay, well, guess what? They're not sticking to the sides of my pan, but if you use a regular baking tin, they will stick. If it's oiled, they'll stick. This one, I got a little bit, but I'm just gonna leave it on the bottom. That's fine with me. And then in goes our batter. Smooth it out so that it's in one nice even layer. Make sure you get all of it because it's delicious. Now this I'm gonna set to the side as we make our streusel topping. So the butter, I accidentally melted a little bit more than I wanted to. You want softened butter. I'm just gonna use the melted because I don't wanna waste anything. So in with your softened butter, ignore that it's melted, is gonna go 2 types of sugar. We're gonna use white sugar and brown sugar, flour, a pinch of salt, you know me, and cinnamon. Use a fork, mix it all up. Beautiful. This streusel, I'm gonna sprinkle right on top of our apple cake. And into the oven. So my apple cake is out of the oven. You can see how beautiful it is. It's still kind of hot, so I'm kind of burning my fingertips off there. But I cut myself a slice. Big chunks of apples. And it fell apart a little bit, but I'm just gonna go in with my fingers because I'm starving. Come on now, you can't beat it. Can you see those sesame seeds that we put on there? Beautiful. This is just melting in my mouth. And it's so cinnamony, lightly crunchy on top. It's not super sweet besides the streusel. I love the texture of the walnuts that we put in here. incredible. This would be perfect for breakfast, for a snack, for just a nice little sweet dessert. Throw some whipped cream on there. As always, the recipe is gonna be in the description box below. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. Thanks for cooking with me again. Bye. I will just casually finish this. Oh my God.